That was the sound we heard on when we were watching the Academy Awards, and we watched Will Smith walk up to Chris Rock and slap him across the face after he heard Chris Rock insult his wife. Now, in some communities, that may be considered to be somewhat valiant to defend the honor of a woman, but in this era, any type of violence of any kind is frowned upon, particularly in an environment like the Academy Awards. I am Michael Santos, and on behalf of our entire team at Prison Professors, I want to offer just a little bit of commentary about what people can learn from the aftermath of that slap that Will Smith gave to Chris Rock, trying to make no judgment call on whether it was appropriate for a man to defend the honor of his wife. Let's just try to stay focused on the after effect. And that is, how should somebody respond to behavior that is construed as being inappropriate, including criminal behavior? You see, a lot of people have a tendency to not see how their own behavior impacts other people. And that is a real problem for the individual who is looking for mercy or compassion or leniency at sentencing. I think all of us can learn a little bit from both how Will Smith responded, but also how other people responded to Will Smith's response. So let's take a look at some of the headlines from today. And today is April the 2nd, 2022. And we'll see in this headline a really compelling statement. I betrayed the trust of the Academy. Will Smith resigns from the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts following backlash from the Oscars incident. And this was published yesterday, April the 1st. Will Smith has resigned from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences following the immense backlash that came from his ill-fated slap of Chris Rock. Smith was already facing expulsion from the Academy after an inquiry was launched in regards to the incident on Sunday at the Academy Awards, which saw him walk on stage and slap Rock, who has just made a joke about his wife, Jada Pinkett Smith, and her alopecia diagnosis. So again, not making any statement on what happened there, but rather the response to what happened. The statement released Friday afternoon read, and this is from Will Smith, I have directly responded to the Academy's disciplinary hearing notice, and I will fully accept any and all consequences for my conduct. My actions at the 94th Academy Awards presentation were shocking, painful, and inexcusable. The list of those I have hurt is long and includes Chris, his family, many of my dear friends and loved ones, all those in attendance and global audiences at home. I betrayed the trust of the Academy. I deprived other nominees and winners of their opportunity to celebrate and be celebrated for their extraordinary work. I am heartbroken. I want to put the focus back on those who deserve attention for their achievements and allow the Academy to get back to the incredible work it does to support creativity and artistry in film. So I am resigning from membership in the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences and will accept any further consequences the board deems appropriate. Change takes time, and I'm committed to doing the work to ensure that I never again allow violence to overtake reason. The Academy confirmed the resignation moments after Smith's statement was released. David Rubin, the president of the Academy of Motion Pictures Arts and Sciences, also issued releases Friday afternoon that said, we have received and accepted Mr. Smith's immediate resignation from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences. We will continue to move forward with our disciplinary proceedings against Mr. Smith for violation of the Academy's standards of conduct in advance of the next scheduled meeting on April the 18th. So the important thing I think to see here is that Will Smith did a pretty cool thing in recognizing it's not about him. It's rather about the people that were hurt. And there were many people hurt because all we've been talking about since the Academy Awards was the slap and not the extraordinary work of all the talented people that work so hard to entertain millions of people from around the world. But we can also see the anticipation of what the opposing side will always say. And we can see that in this headline here that says, Will Smith critics, he's resigning from the Academy to avoid consequences, which of course sounds very much like the voice that we can expect from a prosecutor. In the wake of resigning from the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences, critics say Oscar-winning actor Will Smith's departure is a ruse to dodge further consequences. Well, I think that everybody who's going through a challenge with the criminal justice system can learn a great deal from this. It's about how, when we're responding or trying to accept responsibility, we have to anticipate that the other people will always be saying he only is expressing sorrow or regret because he got caught. We can't complain about that. We have to live in the world as it exists. And that's why it's so important for people to not only say, I am sorry, to not only accept responsibility, but to also do additional work to recalibrate, to mitigate some of the bad or the actions that other people are going to use against us. I, as somebody who was in prison for 26 years, I frequently saw that this tendency of people in power, wanting to press their finger down and obliterate hope for anybody who is going through the system. But if we invest in ourselves, if we learn how to accept responsibility and express remorse for the bad decisions that we have made, we can restore confidence. We can forgive ourselves. We can move forward and start to rebuild a life of meaning and relevance and dignity. I have no doubt that Will Smith will go on with his life as a man of meaning and relevance and dignity and making great contributions to society. And I know that in this era of really like extreme government intrusion into people's lives and so on, there's always going to be people that want to, burn the scarlet letter on somebody. Don't let that deter you from striving to be the best that you can possibly be. At Prison Professors, we always strive to show people that there's a strategy to get through a challenging time. And that challenge starts by defining success, defining the best possible outcome. It continues with setting really clear goals of what am I going to have to do to get there. In the case of Will Smith, he decided to go for the best possible outcome. Success was not going to be to undo his behavior at the Academy Awards, but rather, how can I move forward with my life and restore my sense of being a good citizen? And that comes by doing what he just did, making an apology, accepting full responsibility, identifying the harm that he caused. And I'm not talking about what's the comic's name? Not Will Smith. What's the guy he slapped? I forgot his name. Chris Rock. I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about drawing attention away from people that deserved attention and from the Academy Awards and from the people at home, like my 101-year-old grandmother that wondered why this guy went on stage and slapped somebody. But, as somebody who was in prison for 26 years, I saw a lot of that type of behavior. I'm not condoning violence, but certainly I'm also not going to say that a man shouldn't defend the honor of his wife. Was Chris Rock's behavior inappropriate? That's for other people to decide. But what I really want to applaud is his ability to accept full responsibility and move forward. So define success. That's one step. Set clear goals. And one of those goals is to start by doing first things first, making an apology. But you can't stop there. You got to keep sowing seeds that will demonstrate a commitment to honesty and transparency and excellence. And I have no doubt that Will Smith will do that. We do that in our Straight A Guide by saying you got to have the right attitude, which is 100% commitment. You've got to aspire. You got to see what you're going to become by taking these steps. You've got to take those incremental action steps. You've got to hold yourself accountable. Don't worry what other people do. Hold yourself accountable. 5, you have got to stay aware of what you can do and what others people will expect you to do, and make other people aware of your commitment to excellence. You've got to be authentic, meaning create your tools, tactics, and resources that will help you overcome. You've got to celebrate the little achievements, and you have got to express your gratitude for and appreciation for the blessings that have come your way. That's what we offer on Prison Professors. This is a roadmap that we learn from leaders, a roadmap that we believe people can use to reach their highest potential, even during challenging times. I wish the best to everybody who was influenced by that slap, but I also want to say we could all learn something from Will Smith's response to a bad decision that he acknowledges that he made. I'm of the position that we can all move forward and we can forgive and regroup and recalibrate. I think that's what Will's doing. I think that's what you can do as well. And I hope that you will be a member of our community by subscribing to the Prison Professors program. We strive to teach people in jails and prisons across America how to reach their highest potential. And we do that by showing strategies that we learned from leaders. I am Michael Santos. I was in prison for 26 years. And now I strive to help other people be the change that they want to see in the world. Thanks so much for being a part of our community.